Our last assignment for the week deals with meeting minutes. And so, what exactly are meeting minutes? Well, it's going to be kind of a record of meetings that have taken place. So, I think some of you have maybe been your class secretary, or maybe you're the secretary for an organization like FBLA or FFA. It's important to know how to take minutes and have accurate minutes. So that's just kind of the basics. What are they? Why are they important? We just need an accurate account of everything. And so then for our meeting minutes here, you can see it has quite a few parts. So it's going to start with the heading. And the heading we're going to have, which is here at the top, we're going to have our organization name, document title, meeting title. So maybe, it's your monthly FFA chapter meeting and then the meeting date. So those things go in your heading. Notice that they are all centered and double spaced. Next is the introductory paragraph. So that's going to include the name of the organization, location, time, and type of meeting. Then next we will have a participant list. So just, who was in attendance at the meeting. Then approval statement. So this includes a statement of whether or not the previous meeting's minutes were approved. So typically those will be read if there's any changes that need to be made or whatever. Then action items. So action items are based off of the agenda, and we'll kind of look at a sample kind of meeting and agenda format here in a minute. And these include what decisions or actions have to be made. And then resolution. So this is going to describe the status of how any issues are resolved or will be resolved at a later date. And then the next part is our next meeting statement. So it's just going to include the date and time of the next meeting. An adjournment statement includes the time the meeting ended. A signature line is used for the person who took the notes, as well as having their title in there. So one thing I want to note before we move on, so we talked about our heading is all centered, double spaced. Then we see everything else is pretty much, normal like paragraph formatting. Things are indented, double space between paragraphs, but otherwise things are single spaced. So here we have our scenario. On September 28th at 9 a.m., a monthly staff meeting was held at Social Media Inc., located at 4 Waterfront Plaza, Lakeside, California. The staff knows from the employee handbook that management at SIM Inc. requires a monthly staff meeting. Charles Bittner, CEO, led the meeting, and Stacy Jackson, the human resource supervisor, recorded the minutes. Janice Bartlett, Ellen James, Elaine Koopman, and Bryce Sarber were present. Absent that day was Carrie Shaw. Okay, so that's our basic scenario. We have our document set up, so nothing really to change. Font size should be Times New Roman and 12. And then here are our instructions. So first you're going to just kind of go through, I would skim over the meeting script, which I'll show you here in a minute, and then just go through the practice document. So they're just showing you the meeting script so that you get an idea of this is kind of what happened at the meeting. So basically they did a transcript, wrote out what everybody said and how it happened, because you would be there at that meeting, right, to actually notice all of those things. So here's just kind of a transcript. So they have Charles saying, "Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing?" Everyone responds, "Fine." Then he says, "Anyone heard from Carrie? I know she wasn't feeling well yesterday." And so on. So like I said, skim over this. It's 2 pages. But it's just important to know, how do we get from all of this to kind of this 1 page of minutes. And so then you will just type all of this up and submit on Schoology. So like I said, everything should be pretty basic for formatting and setting up in your Google Docs.